So let's get started. Look, the reason that we are all here is because we're looking to break through. Now, every part of your life, there is always another breakthrough, right? You know, when you were born, the moment you crawled was that moment where everything was different. The moment you spoke your first word, everything in your life changed. Everyone remembers getting their license. That was a huge breakthrough. After that moment, everything was absolutely different. And we have a series of these breakthroughs in our life. That when we're younger, these breakthroughs happen naturally. You know, like I said, like speaking or talking or walking. But as we get older and as we become more mature and as we succeed more, our goals become a little bit more abstract. And we don't naturally just fall into progression. We actually have to work for it. We actually have to strategize for it. And so many of us have areas in our life where we're doing okay. But then there are those other areas where you seem to struggle. Where day after day, week after week, year after year, you're back in the same place. You step on the scale, it's still the same thing. Maybe say a couple pounds up. You look at your bank account, it's the same the way it was last year. You look at your romantic life and your social life, and it's dull and lifeless, and you're busy but not fulfilled. And so what I want to show you guys today is how to break through that by changing one simple thing in the way that you're approaching your creations in life and your problems in life. So I'm going to give you guys these secrets, and I'm going to show you everything that I have to offer to help you succeed in this next year. And then once I do, I'm going to give you an opportunity to work together further, so we can make sure absolute positive that 2017 is the year that you absolutely crush it and finally get out of your own way and start living the way that you want to start turning your dreams into realities and start actually having the thing that you see in your mind and you desire so bad. So let's get this presentation started. Let me switch this here. And actually, I want to say this too. After the presentation, I'm going to stay on and answer your guys' questions as long as it takes for me to answer them. I'm going to be asking you to be doing some, to interact within this presentation. But if I don't get to everything, I will make sure that I get to all of your questions. So, all right. Yeah. Is it on now? Is it working look good? All right. All right. We all have one thing in common. All right. We all want something. Now, I'm not talking about the nice to haves. I'm talking about that certain something that stands above the rest. That's something that's been tapping you on the shoulder and whispering, it's time to make a move. That's something that you've been chasing for what seems like forever, but yet still continues to slip through your fingers. And you start doubting if you're ever going to get it. And now even the thought of that something starts to feel like a punch in the gut. Now, this something could be anything. It could be to build a new relationship. It could be to turn your passion into a business, or it could be to get in the best shape of your life. Or maybe it's just to find out who you really are, what you really want, and what you are really meant to do. Or maybe it's a complete reinvention with all of these things in harmony. I want you to take a moment and type down what your something is. Now go ahead, guys. I want to see in the comments here, what is it, that one thing that you guys are chasing? That thing that just gets at you when you think about it. Right, Kelly's saying that she wants health. Robert, financial freedom. I can expand this. Tim saying health. Tom, enlightenment. Kevin says a good relationship. Relationships from Trevor. Balanced and free life from Mark. All harmony, no more loss. Start your own business. financial freedom. These are all great things, guys. Wealth, health, balance. Kathleen says balance. Hey, Mom, how's it going? I called my mom Kathleen. Relationship. I believe I need to find my true passion. That's a good one. The girl of my dreams. To be able to fit in all of the above, fantastic. Being self-employed, starting your own business, to be a better person, to find out who you really are. Okay, here we go. Lots of things. Financial freedom, good relationships. All right, these are all great things, guys. Okay, so let's get back up here. So I want to let you in on a little secret. Everybody here on this webinar already has the power and the ability to have their something. But the reality is you don't always get what you want. And it's not because of your bad luck. It's not because of your lack of resources. And it's not because you don't have enough motivation, willpower, or discipline. It's because you are unknowingly using the most powerful tool we have as humans, which is language. Now, and as long as you continue to use your language in this destructive way, you're going to continue to sabotage your happiness. And you're going to end up taking yourself on a series of blind detours on your journey to your something. And you're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot before you even get to the starting line. Now, all that stress and frustration causes anxiety. And this deflates your motivation and paralyzes you from taking action. Now, this activates the monsters in your mind that provoke that piercing sense of self-doubt. So you end up filling your days up with distractions and reverting back to your old dirty habits. This causes you to fall off track, losing your focus and your motivation. And every night, you honestly believe yourself when you say, tomorrow is the day that I'm going to wake up early and whatever it is. Only to wake up and hit the snooze button and once again start your day with some good old-fashioned procrastination. And that frustration and exhaustion settles in the pit of your stomach, and you seriously consider giving up. Deep down, you refuse to let yourself quit, yet sometimes you can't help but feel a little bit hopeless. And you start to doubt your ability to actually have a lasting and sustainable change. And so that sinking feeling gets heavier and heavier with each passing day. You eventually throw your hands up in defeat and accept the harsh reality that you're going to be stuck here forever. And you're never going to have that something. Now, although everyone experiences this on some level, we're not always able to break free from this vicious cycle. But with the right tools and practices, there is a way out. Now, when you use your language more precisely, what you get is a direct and crystal clear path to getting that something. And by mastering the way that you use your language, it allows you to destroy those habits that sabotage your success and transform that chaos in your mind into a crystal clear blueprint and jet fuel to accelerate you towards your progress. So instead of constantly battling against those monsters in your mind that cause you to be stuck, I'm going to show you how to gracefully dance with them by giving you this unique language method that I call precise language. Now, precise language is the first and only mind mastery method that uses unique language filters to eliminate every single form of self-sabotage that's currently standing in your way, while simultaneously activating your creative power to effortlessly achieve the goals that are most important to you, whatever they may be, even if they change. Now, before we start, I want to give you a warning. Using precise language, although very simple in practice, can be extremely challenging. And because once you start taking responsibility and using productive language that illuminates your mind and awareness, you start to find some really dark shit. But instead of running from it, you step into it. And you're able to confront the things that have been holding you back and stopping you from what you truly want. So do not continue this presentation if you're not ready for a massive breakthrough, because every joy in life has a reciprocal challenge. And if you're not ready for that challenge, you're not ready for that breakthrough. So I want to be very clear as to what this presentation is not. This presentation is not a secret hypnosis trick. It's not a deep diving therapy session, and it's not some spiritual philosophy of manifestation. What I'm going to show you today is simple. I'm going to show you the exact words to never use again when you speak to yourself and others. Because these are the poisonous words that are the direct source of all of your self-doubt, self-sabotage, miscommunications, laziness, overthinking, anxiety, depression, low energy. And if I had more room on this slide, I'd put every other form of pain on there. Now next, I'm going to show you how to use precise language and apply it in any life situation through the simple success formula. And finally, I'm going to give you the step-by-step instructions to master and leverage the secret sauce of precise language called the clear language construct. Now, during this presentation, we're going to be doing exercises and I'm going to be asking you questions. So anything you have, just put it in the question box. And after we're done, I will stay and answer all of your questions as long as it takes. So before I get started, I just want to be clear about something. I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist, and I'm not a professional motivational speaker. What I am is an expert in pain. Now, pain from everywhere. I'm talking pain from failed dreams, broken relationships, and self-imposed limitations. And these things have caused my life to be filled with mental exhaustion and emotional roller coasters and some spiritual rebellion. Now, there are thousands of ways to feel pain, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. And each unique struggle becomes its own unique monster. And the more intense that pain gets, the bigger that monster becomes. Now, at just 4 months old, I crawled into the octagon to battle the biggest monster of my life, which was relentless physical torture. Every 4 weeks, like clockwork, my body was attacked by a blistering fever reaching upwards to 106 degrees. As a little kid, I became delusional and didn't understand what was happening. My temperature would redline and continue to rise, knocking me unconscious. It was even worse for my parents because they had this little screeching kid that was tormented by pain and they didn't know what to do. I mean, this was before I could even talk. And it felt like my childhood. I lived in doctor's offices searching for a solution, but we kept getting the same answer to our problem. I don't know. I don't know why he's so sick. I don't know why we can't get the pain to stop. I don't know why this keeps happening. And all they could give me is pain medication. But honestly, the amount prescribed was enough to kill a horse. So at 8 years old, I had been to dozens of specialists. I mean, everything from Eastern medicine to Western medicine to herbalists, homeopathists, spiritual healers, experimental drug studies, even a few witch doctors. In fact, there was one time that I went to a church and I had 300 people put their hands on me and pray for my healing. Whatever it took, whatever option was out there, we took it. And at some point, I was taken to a medical psychologist that was doing an experimental language therapy. And she showed me that I could consciously manipulate and control my mental, emotional, and physical experience with a simple but specific use of language. She showed me how to physically shut off my pain receptors better than any pill or medication ever could. So I rewired my mind, instantly shift my actions, and consciously shape my reality simply by using language. Now, as I grew older, I started to deconstruct the details of this and started to build a simpler but more in-depth language technique called precise language. Now, by using this language, I was able to easily communicate, calibrate, and share this skill set with others. So at 15 years old, I started using these language constructs to show people how to get in the best shape of their lives by simply shifting their broken emotional relationships with food and exercise. And after seeing the power and effects of the precise language, I began teaching other fitness professionals how they too could use precise language to make more sales. Now, they make more sales by using this specific language to be authentic and truly connect with their clients' needs, desires, and limitations. Now, as I grew older, I started to now use this tool to deconstruct business systems and create intelligent applications to organize, automate, and scale people's businesses. And then one day, when I was freshly single, I decided to start deconstructing love, sex, and relationships. And I started helping my friends in their quest for love by teaching them the magic of language and how it works in relationships. And that practice took off. So I started coaching full time. And on the journey of helping people find their love and great sex and a fulfilling career and cash in the bank and a fit body, I found out that everyone's journey, no matter what they want, is just a different path to trying to answer the same basic questions. Like, who am I? Why am I here? And what am I truly capable of? Then I realized that this unique way of using language was a powerful tool to hack success in every different area of life, no matter what it was. And not only was it helping other people achieve their goals, but it was giving them the ability to answer those questions. Who am I? What am I made of? What am I capable of? And what am I doing here? Because when you know and you love who you truly are, when your habits are in perfect rhythm and you are physically filled with vitality, your mind starts to clear and the shadows of your self-doubt and confusion that cripple you are illuminated and you start to see a new reality. Your mind starts to expand and you start to see more of your personal truth. This is called spiritual ascension. And it's an incredible and intense experience that brings on a new set of challenges. Now, I've personally stepped into my highest purpose by doing this, by helping others dominate their challenges and discover their true value and expand past their limitations. More importantly, I've showed people how to peacefully and powerfully make nice with their monsters, because those are the things that are holding you back. So I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy that spent the past 25 years mastering the most powerful creation tool that makes us human. That's language. So let me explain to you how this all works. Every day, you're constantly using language. Even when you stop talking, the voice in your head, it keeps going. And in fact, there's always a conversation running inside your head that's speaking and simultaneously listening. And essentially, it's controlling you. Now, this voice can either empower you to get you something, or it can keep you from it. Everything you have in your life started in your mind as a thought. And we use language to bring those thoughts to life. But here's the problem. We tend to get a little sloppy with our words. And sometimes really sloppy. Okay, even sometimes downright nasty. We don't even know it because although the effects of this sloppy language are absolutely catastrophic, the language mistakes that you're making are very subtle. And the subtle and often super sneaky misuse of language creates shadows in our minds for our monsters to hide. And these shadows create a safe space for your worry, your self-doubt, your fear, bad habits, and old scars to permanently take residence in your mind, in that shadow. And once you slip into that emotional frame, you enter a never-ending loop of self-defeating questions like, why am I not making the money I want? Why am I not following my passion? Why am I not in good shape? Why am I not in a relationship? Why am I not being productive? Why am I not motivated? And all this wondering of why you're not starts to eat away at your happiness. And little by little, you put little band-aids over the pain. And these band-aids are just cheap and simple pleasures that distract you. They distract you from truly ever solving your problems. Now, so instead of solving those problems, you stuff your face with junk food, binge on never-ending Netflix marathons, and mindlessly scroll through social media. Or my favorite, you find yourself mindlessly going through your phone, swiping through your apps, looking for anything to distract you. And all these little bursts of pleasure become habits. And soon these habits start becoming a regular part of your life. You become disgusted and honestly a little shamed from all these metaphorical sugars that you've consumed, and you realize that yet another day has gone by that you will never get back. This goes on for a while. It goes on for months, years, or sometimes even a lifetime. And it sucks because you try so hard But you start to realize that the only thing that I'm not is getting anywhere. And you ask yourself, why? Then, unknowingly, after you ask yourself why, you apply a toxic and crippling curse on yourself by proclaiming, I don't know. Then it's back to the little pleasure bombs that eat away at your happiness and destroy your health. Now, when there's something you want and you state, I don't know, your brain has to make a choice. Choice one, to step into that pain and transform it somehow into a solution. Or choice two, find some sort of happiness as fast as you possibly can at any cost. And when it chooses choice two, it's right back to where you were, binging on your personal favorite forms of toxic sugar. So how do we break free from these vicious loops of perpetual pain? Well, we usually try to solve our problems with the same general solutions, right? So the first one is work harder, grind it out, get on your hustle. Well, the problem with that is that willpower is a limited resource. And if you try harder while you're running around in circles and you're in a loop, you just end up exhausting yourself even more. You have to have strategies to break free from these vicious language loops that you create with your words so you can actually make progress, not just move really fast in a circle. Solution two, avoid negative thoughts altogether and just stay positive. Have a good attitude. Well, the thing is, negative thoughts are extremely useful and valuable, but we avoid them like the plague because we don't know how to leverage them to make them work for us. In reality, negativity is simply just a pain signal to your consciousness that something needs attention. Now, when you learn how to dance with your pain, it reveals the wisdom that hides underneath every single negative emotion, allowing you to transform it into something useful so you can propel you forward in life. Now, solution three is to seek a therapist or a mentor. Now, we seek the opinion of others in hopes that someone who's not quite as fucked up as us can maybe shine some light on our confusion. When in reality, you have all of the answers you will ever need inside of you right now. And when you use precise language, you eliminate the shadows in your mind and gain access to your wisdom and your higher self. Because no one knows what's best for you other than you. But you have to learn how to search within rather than trying to find someone that can do it for you. Now, these three strategies do work, but there are two fundamental tools that I want to share with you so your efforts actually produce the results that you're looking for and you're not just working hard and going nowhere. So we all have unique struggles and desires, right? But no matter what type of dream or struggle that you have, there is a simple success formula that gives you the universal ability to outwit any problem, to overcome any challenge, and achieve any goal that you can set your mind to. So here it is. Here is the simple success formula to solve all your problems. You ready? Situation. What's your situation? Who are you? What do you want? Strategy. How are you going to get it? Equals something. Creating your dream. Well, that's it. I want to thank you guys for coming to the seminar. I'm kidding. Success it is this simple, but it is a little bit more detailed than this. So let's get into it. So each success follows the basic structure of storytelling. So first, let's talk about the situation. So who is the character and what does the character want, right? So what's your situation and what is it that you're looking to do? Now, next is the strategy. How is this character going to get what they want? Now, as the story moves forward, the character executes their plan and takes actions, systematically, getting one step closer to their something. See, every problem ever solved, every success ever achieved, every breakthrough ever made follows this formula. Except for it never happens as smoothly or as predictably or as linearly as you'd like it to. Because you know what they say, when man plans, God laughs. because suddenly everything inevitably will start to go wrong. And once again, it's going to feel like the world is absolutely against you. And eventually, those dirty habits come creeping back in, and you find yourself putting that something off for yet just another day. And that journey feels like it's taken a lot longer than it should. And you seriously start to question yourself and wonder, is my something really worth it? And the only answer you can seem to find is, I don't know. And that's when you officially enter a vicious language loop. By asking yourself the same question and replying with the same answer over and over and over again. Now, these loops are directly responsible for constantly sabotaging your path to getting your something. And these vicious language loops are what knock you off your path and consume your precious time. They also suck your energy and hijack your attention. They ruin any sense of momentum that you've built up until now. Now, there are 3 critical mistakes that you're using in your language that are directly responsible for every single one of these pain loops. Now, I'm going to show you these 3 critical corrections that you need to make to filter your words and redirect these self-defeating patterns. We're going to do this by filtering your words through the tool that's the secret sauce of precise language that I was telling you about before, called the clear language construct. Now, the first correction, now actually, let me back up here. Because before I show you this secret sauce of the clear language construct, I'm going to tell you what I've told every personal private client when they get to this part of our coaching. Because up until now, I've only done private clients. This is my first time doing this in an online setting. And what I tell people when they are about to hear what I'm about to show them is mark down the time. Now, we're in Chicago here, so it's 8:33. And mark the time down because this is the moment where your life changed. This is the moment that you were given complete control over your experience, complete control on whether you have success or not. This is the moment where you're given the choice to succeed. 8:33, or wherever you're at, mark the time down. So the first correction that you need to make with your language is to stop ignoring your thoughts and ignite your motivation by using your words. In other words, speak up. When you're trying to create something or solve something or fix something, do anything, first step, speak up. Now, you can't solve a puzzle unless you take the pieces from the box to the table. Now, when defeating your inner monsters, you have to first start by shining a light on your thoughts and emotions by connecting your attention with your words. Now, we use words to interact and define our experiences in our mind. Now, this is the genesis of all creation, both good and bad. Now, you've got to get your words out however you can. Now, if you don't have a friend to talk to, then write in a journal. Do video journals, or record yourself speaking, or meet with mentors, or get onto a webinar and participate, and just start bringing attention to the things that you want to bring to life, because the universe has a pretty standard law that whatever is given attention thrives, and whatever is ignored dies. So if you ignore your something, it only can decay. So start out by speaking up. Because if you don't speak up, nothing will ever change. And you're going to be stuck here, right where you're at, forever. Now, the second correction is to remove void language and speak clearly. Now, solving a problem using void language is like trying to complete a jigsaw puzzle with all of the pieces face down. Now, when you use void language, you end up casting invisible shadows in your thoughts, which cause your mind to make massive assumptions. And it's in these assumption shadows that our fears, scars, and insecurities, or as I call monsters, live and breathe. Then your experience, your thoughts, and your beliefs start to filter through all of these emotional wounds. And it's at that point that you get stirred up with pain, procrastination, and paralysis of taking action. Now, I'm going to show you the 11 specific words to remove from your vocabulary that will immediately make your thoughts language, and actions more precise and efficient. You guys ready for these? There we go. These are the main void words. Not, never, none, dis, in, ear, less, no, stop, and anyways. When you're speaking clearly, you need to speak about what is, not about what isn't. If I'm to tell you that I have something in my hand and it is not a marble, essentially what I'm saying is I'm saying that there is something in my hand and it could be anything in the universe minus one thing. As in a completely inefficient way to speak. If you want to speak clearly, speak only of what is. So when you say I'm not happy, you are something. When you say, I'll never be fit, you are already some level of fit. When you're asked what did you do yesterday, you say nothing or nothing. Well, you're always doing something. Now, here's where voids get very tricky. Voids get tricky because they come in prefixes as well. Like, I feel disempowered. I feel everything but empowered. I feel unattractive. You feel something except for being attractive. Is this making sense to everyone? Write in the comments if this is if you guys are tracking on this. Okay, Robert, yes. All right, fantastic. All right, I'm going to keep on going because I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to do this with me, so I can show you how this works. There we go. Right on. All right. So when you remove these voids from your vocabulary, you're going to be able to stop those endless loops of resistance that are keeping you from making your progress towards your something. Now, the third critical correction that you need to make is remove vague language and speak precisely. Now, first, let's discuss the consequence of using vague language. Vague language is what creates inner emotional conflict and conflict with other people. So any disagreement you've ever had with another person, vague language is responsible for. It's responsible for creating the fog in your mind that turns you scared and insecure and sometimes numb, which is worse than both of those. And because of your vague language, it's because of your vague language that you become at a loss for words, ideas, or hope in general. And it stops you from making progress. And when you use vague language, your confusion and emotional interference is directly reflected in the words that you use. So if other people are hearing your voids, they can see where you're having some confusion or an emotional interference. But when you speak precisely, you're able to organize your thoughts and create real action steps that immediately break you free and transform years of frustration into progress. Now, here's how you start applying precise language to your something. Speaking precisely starts with removing void words and exclusively using clear language. So then, as you start to discuss your challenge or your goal, you start fractaling your vague words that you're using. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by fractaling. When you observe your situation or your strategy, you need to bring greater contextual detail to the vague words you're using by asking one simple question. What does that mean? So when you say, I want a business, I want a relationship, or I want to be happy, what does that mean? What do those words mean? What does a business mean? What does a relationship mean? What does happy mean? When you say, I want a better body, or I want more money, or I want an active social life, what does that mean? What does better mean? What does active mean? When you ask more objective questions, like what is it about your situation right now that you want to make better? You eventually You eventually begin working through your roadblocks and your confusion, and you start mapping out specific beliefs, action steps, and strategies. That is, until you start to struggle. Now, when you're trying to speak clear and you're fractaling words, you will have moments where your ability to speak clearly and precisely is completely paralyzed. You won't be able to say a single word. And if you do, you won't be able to be spewing voids out of your mouth. And the reason this is because the shadows of these vague words is where your emotional monsters are hiding. And using vague and void language is how they speak up. And you'll be surprised on how often you use this when you're frustrated. How often you'll be speaking in void and vague language when you're confused and you're trying to plan something strategically, or you're trying to work up the courage or find a solution. This is where things get really interesting and even a little confrontational, but equally as illuminating. Once you start to fractal and deconstruct your vague language, you run into old scars and deep ingrained insecurities that have been holding you back from years and that are stopping you from moving forward. But once you continue to fractal and speak more precise, you can start to see the finer and finer detail into those challenges, finer and finer details into those solutions, because we know that the devil is in the details. And fractaling in precise language is how you hunt that little devil and steal his gold. So you continue the basic fractaling of void language by asking baseline simple questions as you continue, such as, what do I want? What is standing in my way? What actions do I need to take? How does that serve me, whatever that may be? What are my options, and what am I going to do next? By asking these questions and continuing to fractal down using precise language, you're able to extract the wisdom and the details out of every situation. And when you apply that wisdom, it recalibrates your compass and propels you and accelerates you towards your something. Now, I'm going to show you how to put these together, the clear language construct with the simple success formula, so you can instantly start getting one step closer to your something. We're going to go through this. We're going to go through this today. Is everybody tracking here? Just put a yes in the comments so I know that you guys are following me here. All right. Right on. Perfect. Oh, wow. Jeez, that's a lot of you. My brain is trying to tell you what's wrong by using precise language. You're able to understand the message from your brain. Yeah, absolutely. Trevor, spot on, dude. Spot on, man. All right, fantastic. All right, I'm gonna keep going. This is great, guys. All right, so step one, what do you want? Okay, so I want you to think about this as it pertains to your particular something, and I want you guys to get ready to participate in answering some of these questions. Okay, so but not quite yet. So what do you want? When do you expect to have it, and why do you want it so bad? Okay, these are the basic questions of what, why, and when, right? But these are important to address and to get out there so you can start moving forward. You want to ask yourself details like, what does your daily life look like when you have that something? I want you to start writing. I want you to write, filtering your words through the clear language construct, and remove the voids and fractal your language. So the more specific and detailed your description of your something, the easier it becomes to get it, to manifest it, to create it in your life. So let's hear from you guys. What do you want? And I want you guys to use, remove your voids and use precise language. So let's see it. What do you guys want? As long as you guys are telling me what you want, I'll see here. All right. So Angelica, you wrote self-love. So what does self-love mean, Angelica? Write that down for me. Garrett, I want to stop doing drug or drugs. Stop is avoid because you're always doing something. So what is it that you want to do instead? So tell me that instead of what it is that you want to stop doing, because you're always doing something. I want to be more social. Okay, Pintu, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We would fractal the word, the term more social. What does more social mean? Because if you leave the house but once a month, being more social is making a phone call. So financial freedom. Once again, so being Tele, financial freedom, what does that mean? Specifically, financial freedom for some people might be $1,000 a month, depends on your expenses. For others, if you're a billionaire and you make $1 million a year, you're not very free. Like that's a big problem. So be specific. What is that you want? Live a more fulfilling life through better health. Okay, yeah, these are all great. So this one is clear, but it's got to be a little bit more precise. So what does more fulfilling life and better health mean? Better blood pressure, lower weight, better sleeping patterns. Health is very dynamic. Rudy, to create and sustain an additional $3,000 a month in income. Fantastic. That's a more specific result. I want to get fit and learn to walk again. I am an amputee. Absolutely, man. Like when you're trying to learn how to walk again, be sure to get real specific on those results. I want to take my first step by this day, because walking is a very big something at this point. So how can you break it down into those details? I want being myself and in harmony with the universe. Okay. Again, what does harmony mean? So these are the things that I would have you guys fractal so we can get a much more clearer vision. So let me give you the example that I give everyone with this. So if you're telling the universe, I want to be in harmony. It's very, very vague. Or I don't want to do drugs. If I'm going to tell you where my keys are in my room and I say they're not in the bathroom, it doesn't give you anything. They could be anywhere else in the house. But then if I say, oh, they're in the living room, well, the living room's pretty big. But if you say, when you walk into the door, I want you to make a right immediately, and in my desk, in the second drawer on the left, my keys are in the front right corner. That's specific. And so when I ask someone to accomplish that task for me, it's very easy for them. So if you want the universe to work for you, you need to speak to it in a very precise and clear way. Does this make sense to you guys? Just give me a yes if fantastic. You guys are coming up with some great stuff. Fantastic. All right, we're gonna keep on moving forward. All right, but great work, guys. All right, so step 2, describe your situation. All right, here we go. It's this one here. Okay, describe your situation. This is all about how honest you can be with yourself. So what is your current situation relative to your something? So again, the power of this is in your level of honesty and detail. Otherwise, this doesn't work. So if you want to get in better shape, ask, what is my current body fat percentage? Or how many pounds specifically of fat do I need to lose? If you want to build a business, look at, what do my daily tasks look like when my business is successful, when I'm pulling in that $10,000 a month or whatever the specific goal is? And what specific problem are you looking to solve? Now, the more honest and detailed about the context of your current situation, the more in touch you're going to be with your abilities and your limitations. So in your journaling and in your expressions, be sure to explore both. So I want to hear from you guys now. Tell me, what is holding you back? What is the thing that's holding you back from your something right now? I'm lazy. Okay. Habits, procrastination, fear of failure, me. Oh, again, a little bit vague. So fear, money, old conditioning, feeling inferior, willpower. The fifth person, lazy, my brain. I have to, the work I have now is location locked. The fear of the unknown and lazy. Okay, so here's a good one. The fear of the unknown. Unknown is, uh, if it exists, someone knows about it. So everything is known. So what is it about the known that makes you afraid? If you're looking to overcome the fear of the unknown, um, that doesn't exist. It's a void. There is some type of fear that you have. Now, for someone who was a little bit more clear, they said they had a fear of success. Now, what does that mean? What does fear of success mean? Meaning, like, how is that fear expressed? So, if you were to make $1 million, like, you'd hide under your bed. Like, I mean, I could assume that and still be within integrity of what you said. You see what I'm saying? So once you can identify precisely what's holding you back, only then can you start to take steps forward to go from where you're at to where you want to be. So if you can't articulate the obstacle in front of you, there's no way that anyone can help you go above it, below it, around it, or through it because of lack of information. Internal belief that I was not good enough. Okay, so not good enough. Not good enough is a void. I feel that I was good enough for, only good enough for what? So it's like if someone says, I felt like my parents made me feel like I wasn't good enough. Um, you know, when your parents say, when you say, I feel like my parents, I wasn't good enough, meaning I was only good when I got good grades. My parents only made me feel good when I, you know, cleaned my room or or whatever it was. Once you start breaking it down like this, and you actually see the limitations that others are imposing on you, what the world is imposing on you, and you're able to see it for what it is, it's only then you can actually do something about it. So, all right, so we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to this. This is all great stuff, guys. All right, so step 3, breaking down your strategy. Now, write down the information, resources, and relationships you need to make your something happen. Whether you have them or not, write down these 3 things that you need. And then you need to create an action plan to attain and utilize those resources. So while writing, address your risks, your options, and more importantly, this is where a lot of people don't do this, right? How you're going to react when you seriously start to struggle. Because in chasing the things that we want, we inevitably fail. And then again, we choose option 2, where we go to the immediate thing that makes us happy. That's our drug, whatever it may be. And so you have to know how you're going to react when you don't get what you want. So you have that check engine light saying, uh-oh, I'm not getting what I want and I'm starting to be destructive. When you bring awareness to that, it's easy to step aside from it and stop that loop. So I also want you to write down what you're willing to give to have your something. Because, you know, everyone would like to have $1 million or 6-pack abs or the relationship of their dreams or their life in perfect harmony. But what are you willing to give in order for you to have? So I want to hear from you guys. First, tell me something that's action oriented that has to be done in order for you to have your something. And don't be shy, guys. Like tell me what needs to be done. I don't care how scary or big it is. Like, what needs to be done in order for you to see success? Not what's possible, not what's likely. Like, no, what needs to happen, no matter how crazy it is. You want to go to Mars? Then tell me I need another 15 years of waiting for SpaceX and, you know, $1 million. Whatever it is, tell me what it is. Time, money, studying, to go to the gym and work out 5 days a week. Good. Give up TV addiction. That's a rough one. That's a tough one. Taking the first step. Hey, you came to this webinar and you're participating. So congratulations, dude, Tim. Like, you took your first step. So tell me what's next. What's next? What's the next thing you need to do? Because that first one you did. Congratulations, bro. Finishing my school, work, planning to do coaching. Okay, here we go, Sergio. Coaching, sales, presentations the next year. Have joined meetup groups to meet people, various communication techniques. Yeah, fantastic, dude. Yeah, this is and again, you're in the right place, Sergio. You're on your path right now by simply being here and writing that down. You need to keep up with your meditations. Start not being lazy. Find your passion. You want to find your passion and you don't really know how to achieve this or what to do. This is something that we can help you with. We can talk about this after the All right, this is fantastic, guys. All right, now next I want you to answer the question: how much are you willing to give? How much are you willing to give in order to have your something? Now notice I didn't say how much are you willing to sacrifice. There's a difference between sacrifice and giving. Sacrifice is the universe taking something from you and you being okay for the sake of something greater. So it's a little victim-y. Giving is willingly investing in something knowing that the universe will bring it back to you tenfold. And so I'm not a big fan of sacrifice. Whatever is needed from me, from the external world, from my relationships, from my clients, from my body, whatever it is, I'm willing to give. Because when you're willing to give, that's what opens you up to receiving. If the universe has to take from you in order for you to take action, it's not a very harmonious relationship. So let me know, guys, like what are you willing to give? Because I will tell you what, like I told you, it was my dream to be here in front of you guys tonight, to share this information that I've been sharing privately, for years. And I was willing to give anything, pass up on every other opportunity to literally sacrifice my health, my time, all other opportunities so I could be here because this is my passion. This is what I live for. And so what are you guys willing to give? Four hours a day. Okay. Commit time, money, work, love, passion. Fantastic. Okay, all right. Use all my spare time to build my tiny house bus. Okay, here we go, Sergio. Listening to various audio courses, at least 10 hours a day, going to daily, going for walks daily, keeping healthy, doing courses in January, practicing communications and stuff. Fantastic. Yeah, that is a lot of time and energy. And here's the thing, man. When you invest in yourself and you use clear and precise language, it's only a matter of time before you get what you want, especially if you're willing to give. All right, let's keep moving forward, guys. All right. So finally, when you do this outside of what we're doing here, you need to filter your writings through the clear language construct and remove any voids or vague language. Now, every time you pursue your something, whether it changes or it's the same thing, do this exercise. Ask these 3 questions. And next, I'm going to give you this simple daily habit that guarantees you that you'll get one step closer to your something every single day. Now, this simple habit, guys, if all you pulled away from this webinar was doing this habit consistently, I promise you that it will have been worth the time investment that you made to come here and sit with me and learn this stuff. This simple daily habit is a life changer. And if this is something you can do, then I promise you, I can show you how to take that same type of skill and rhythm and turn it into anything. So here's the simple daily habit. I want you to spend 10 minutes every day connecting your attention to your something with your language. Now, for the first 5 minutes, I want you to sit quietly and focus your mind on your something. Focus on your situation. Focus on your strategy. Focus on what's working for you, what's not working for you, what you need, where you're scared, and just allow your mind to wander for 5 minutes in silence. Now, next, using precise language, of course, I want you to spend the next 5 minutes writing your reflections, your emotions, and tangible action steps into a notebook or a journal. Or in the Invincible Academy, we use Google Docs that are shareable, so you can have someone else review your writings and give you some real-time feedback. But after this, if you still feel stuck after writing, then I want you to review the language in your notebook and fractal the words that have intense emotion or vague definitions. Um, I'm feeling depressed today. Well, that's an intense emotion. What does depressed mean? Why do you feel depressed? What is it about today that made you feel depressed? Um, I want to get better at making money. That's a vague definition. Well, what does it mean better? At managing money, keeping money, saving money? Marketing, sales. What is it? So go into the notebook and do this. Now, by doing this simple daily exercise, this is going to clear the fog out of your mind and give you space and certainty and confidence to take action every single day, making you one step closer to that something. Now, in these 10-minute practices, you might have a day that you have a giant breakthrough. This happens to us a lot in the shower, right? Because the shower is essentially this. There's no TV, there's nothing but you, running water, and your thoughts. And this is a lot of time when we have these breakthroughs. So in these 10-minute practices, you might have a giant breakthrough like that, or you might just take a small step. But as long as you're focused on your something and you're giving it critical thought and attention, and since you're thinking more clearly and speaking more precisely and taking action every single day, having your something is only a matter of time. And then you realize that having that something in your life is a reality. You're just waiting for time to catch up. And there's nothing that can stop you from doing what you intend to do. And that's what makes you invincible. When you either make a breakthrough or progress, but no matter what, every single day, your compass is pointed precisely in the direction of that thing that you want the most, that thing that you deserve, and you move one step closer. You either win or you win big. And that's what makes you invincible. Now, when I do a session with one of my private clients, what I'm doing is I'm constantly and consistently monitoring the words that they use, especially when they're speaking about their challenges and their issues and their desired outcomes. While simultaneously, I'm guiding and filtering their language through the clear language construct. And then I shine a light on the toxicity and the vagueness of your language, like we did a little bit here on the webinar. And then they step into their pain and frustration and transform that feeling of stuck into a tool for success. And as long as my private clients use what I've showed you here today, their progress is guaranteed and a breakthrough is inevitable. Now, you can see that the language that you use every single day can literally make or break your entire experience of life. And this is directly responsible for your overall happiness, especially when dealing with painful and frustrating situations that plague you every single day. And that's why it's so important to be mindful and meticulous with the way that you use your words when you think to yourself and when you speak to other people. Now, we've all experienced these type of challenges in our journey to getting our something. And the best way for you to take control of your destiny is to master the precision of your language and follow a series of systematic steps and tools that powerfully deconstruct these persistent patterns in your language that are constantly working against you. So you can use language that actually supports you and gives you the ability to instantly focus your mind, autocorrect your mistakes and when you fall off, and take action to getting one step closer to your something. Now, this is how you become the ruler of your existence. This is how you become royalty in your own kingdom. This literally is what makes it impossible to stop you from getting your something. Now, this is why I created the Invincible Academy and the Precise Language Masterclass. Now, this class is designed to give you full command of your consciousness and show you how you can use your language to create more powerfully in your life, instead of being hijacked by those vicious language loops that we've been talking about that are so common in everyday thought and speech patterns. And this is so you can create your breakthroughs at will for yourself and for other people in your life. Because I'm just sharing with you guys how well this works when you're working on your own breakthroughs. When you're working in a team, a business team, when you're working in a group to do a project, or when you're working in a relationship, or if you're a therapist or a mentor or a coach, when you're working with your clients or patients or students, this tool is going to empower you to help them break through as well. Now, this program is the result of over 18 years of coaching and analyzing and developing the tools of true transformation, permanent transformation, as well as diving deep into my own many failures and cracking the code on how to alchemize pain into progress. Now, let me remind you that this masterclass, again, is not some type of NLP program or some kumbaya meditation circle so we're not going to be humming until tears burst out of us. And definitely it's not a hypnosis trick that puts you under some type of subconscious spell. And certainly it's not like laying on the couch of a licensed stranger as you spill your darkest secrets. What this is it's an incredibly illuminating system that exposes you to the fundamental operating system of your consciousness. And all of those other practices are very useful tools, but they don't help you master the precision of your language, which that precision of your language is ultimately what runs and controls your life. Now, this program is a collection of exercises, tools, and lessons that I've been using for years to teach my private clients how to easily build daily routines that keep their focus dialed in and their habits in rhythm, while still having time to enjoy the simple sugars of life. Because who doesn't love the simple sugars in life? It's all about the matter of how you incorporate them into your life intentionally. And when you're able to generate a steady stream of progress towards the goals that matter most to you, while gracefully overcoming your challenges as they come along the way, you build confidence. And confidence is your belief that you will do what you say. Confidence is the belief in your ability to accomplish your goals. And this is what's built through this. Because you either win or you win more. Now, there's no easy answers when aspiring to new heights, but I've made this program as simple as it gets. Now, if you want to activate the part of you that's passionate, part of you that's focused, and extract the wisdom from your struggles and transform the way that you experience and create in life and finally get your something, then I want to invite you to join me and the rest of the Invincible Academy here in making 2017 your breakthrough year. So by joining us in this 6-week Precise Language Masterclass. Now, in this masterclass, it's a step-by-step breakthrough blueprint that gives you the tools, structures, and motivation and support to get your something. Now, in this program, I'm going to share with you the most powerful transformation tools to empower you to break free and hold you back from whatever's holding you back. And in the first week, I'm going to show you the personal power principle. Now, this principle is the secret mechanism that gives you clarity and confidence to keep you motivated and keep you taking action. In this program, I'm also going to show you the secrets on how to steal your monster's playbook. Now, I'm going to give you the detailed instructions on how to identify your monsters so you can see their attacks and their interference from a mile away and prepare and take action. I'm also going to show you a simple morning routine that will crush all of your daily distractions so you can create all day with sniper-like focus. Now, with all these tools, you're gonna master the invincibility method. Now, this is the best kept secret that systematically proves that you cannot be stopped. I've had members with crippling negative self-talk and anxiety so bad that it destroyed their path to their something. And I've watched that all completely be lifted in a single session, breaking them free and empowering them to move forward and achieve. And I want to share this reality and these results with you. Now, let me explain how we're going to do this. So I'm going to personally guide you through a step-by-step 6-week class, giving you the tools, the materials, and the blueprints to apply the precise language and the invincibility formula, giving you the superhuman ability to outwit your problems, overcome your obstacles, and achieve any goal. So there's nothing standing in your way to you and that something. So I'm going to break down for you exactly what we're going to experience each week. So in week 1, I'm going to show you how to identify all the void and vague language that you're using that's keeping you locked inside of your own personal prison. And it is by far more than the 11 words that I showed you. It's in the hundreds. And as your monsters become more tricky, they come up with more words. Now, you're going to be able to apply this precise language to your something and have a clear destination with an honest starting position. In week 2, I'm going to show you how to find the hidden terms in your language that are breeding confusion, causing you to lose focus and your motivation to even start thinking about your something. In week 3, now this is where I'm going to show you how to hunt down your monsters instead of running away from them. And by pinpointing the language that causes that anxiety and depression, you'll be instantly able to transform it into precise direction and wisdom. Now, in week 4, you're going to discover the 3 critical tools to gracefully navigate through any difficult situation and instantly realign your focus. So this will come in handy those moments that you get sidetracked or you lose steam because of some external pressure or circumstance that didn't go the way that you wanted it. So look, the economy may have slowed your income. Bad habits might have ruined your health. Your relationship might have blown up in your face. Addiction might have sidetracked your progress. Severe trauma might be playing in your head endlessly in a loop over and over again. Or maybe you just suffer from severe negative self-talk like I did. And in this week, I'm going to show you how to turn those wounds into weapons. Now, in week 5, I'm going to show you how to integrate all of these tools to create rhythm and harmony so you can point your compass in that direction and get your something. And I'm also going to give you some simple strategies to put those good habits in autopilot so you can finally step into that challenge and not only meet it, but thrive in the face of it. So the truth is like 10% of your external circumstances are only 10% responsible for the outcomes in your life. And in this week 5, I'm going to show you how to master the other 90%. Now, in week 6, we evaluate your progress towards your something and start to polish up all the tiny specks of slop that still lie hidden in your language. And then we're going to create a 12-month plan to accelerate your trajectory towards your success and put you in a position in your life where you either win or you win more. No more backtracking. And I will be giving you these systems and tools through live interactive video classes. So you will personally be interacting with me and the other members that have been using the tools of precise language to accelerate their progress towards their something. And the Invincible Academy private Facebook group. So through the weeks, you're going to have support of like-minded people to help mirror your language and give you useful guidance on your journey. And I'll be doing live demonstrations of precise language so we can exchange and apply the wisdom that comes from our transformations. So anyone that's a part of this group will be able to work with me personally to help you clean your language up and really see what's getting you stuck and release those loops. So in fact, you're going to learn just as much as seeing me clean up other people's shadows in their language live than you might in your own private meditations. And also, I'm going to be there for you to personally support and guide you as you build and execute your plan towards your something. So in the Invincible Academy, you have 24-hour support for you to have the resources to have whatever you need. And everyone's there, including and especially myself, to be there for you each step of the way. Now, you might be thinking, what is the investment that I need to make in order to get these results and these outcomes? Now, my private clients pay $10,000 to learn these exact tools. And the cost of my last group program, the Invincible Immersion, was $5,000. Now, the Invincible Immersion, I took a group of my members to a remote island off of the coast of Mexico to dive into their deepest challenges and desires. Now, as we did this, we built strategies and we extracted wisdom and we exercised these tools and we completely transformed our lives. And it was then in this group setting at the Invincible Immersion that I realized how powerful this program was done in a group opposed to one-on-one. It's so much more powerful in a group than when you do it individually. And I didn't want to have to limit sharing these teachings to the people who were willing to clear out their schedule for a week and pay $5,000 for a retreat. And I didn't want to limit it to the people that could only afford $10,000 for this secret knowledge. And because I so strongly believe in the power of this program, and I've seen the incredible effect that it's had on people's lives, and I want to get this life-changing information into as many people's hands as I possibly can, that I wanted to make it a price that is available and accessible to almost everyone. But I still wanted to make it a reasonable enough investment so you could prove to yourself that you're truly committed and serious about making a breakthrough in this next year. So I decided to offer this 6-week masterclass for the one-time payment of $997. Now that's $4,000 less than the last time I taught this material in a group format. So if you're ready to truly and seriously eliminate the resistance and self-sabotage and break through to that next level in your life, and I want you guys to enroll now and join me in the next 6 weeks. So I'm gonna put the link here. Brandon, are you putting the link there? Let's see here. Here we go. It's in the chat box. Is that in the same place as the questions? In the chat box. Is everybody seeing the link where you can enroll to the academy, into the? Yeah, fantastic. And once again, guys, I mean, anytime that I work with a private client, I tell them the same thing. The first requirement for this is, are you ready? Because the only thing I can't do for you is make you ready. And to be honest, everyone that's on this call, everyone that's in this group right now, let me get my face on here. Everyone that's in this group right now, behind me, and everyone that's on this call, like, we all do want that next level, but we're not always ready for it. They say it's not good for a baby to walk before they crawl. Okay. So simply not ready for it. That's okay. But if you are ready, if you are committed to yourself, if you are willing to bet on yourself and feel like Precise Language and the Invincible Academy and me can help you out, then enroll today, and I can't wait to be a part of your journey. I can't wait to be a part of the story of how you got your next something. I can't wait to see in the Invincible private group all the successes that you had and all the mini successes and the progress that you had up until that point. So if this is something you guys are committed to, then I want you to enroll now and we'll get started. Now, here we go. Now, I want those of you who are signing up right now to have something powerful and immediately available to sink your teeth into tonight. So what I decided to do is I wanted to give you access to 2 hours of the live footage from the Invincible Immersion private retreat. So when we went down there, I took a film crew with me to Mexico to capture the true power of the lessons that we were teaching at the Invincible immersion. And I want you to have access to this before class officially begins. And our first class officially begins next Tuesday. But until now, I've kept these videos in my private vault, but I'm going to share with you these 4 video lessons with you tonight. So you can immediately get jump-started to jumpstart your progress and get your something. Now, in the first video is the Invincible Mindset, where I reveal the key secrets and foundational pillars to the Invincible Mindset. And if any of my people here remember this in teaching you the strength and power of your inner self, this one lesson here is an absolute game changer, and that's what you learned in video 1. In video 2, I give you the Invincible Blueprint, and this is where I break down the entire human experience, and I give you a blueprint to your mind, your body, and relationships. This I've been recording content for 15 years now, and this video right here is one of the most powerful pieces that I've ever created. And it's about an hour long, and it's absolutely fantastic. It goes it gets pretty deep, and it's a great foundation before we actually start class. So in video 3 is the Invincible Power Principle. Now this is where I reveal the extremely simple truths that are completely turn my reality upside down, and it gave me unlimited access to my creative power. And once I realized this one revelation, I no longer felt like a victim another day in my life. I always felt like I had control, and I always realized that I had control. So in video 4 is the Invincible Routine. Now this is where I'm going to show you how to start each day feeling absolutely clear and powerful and focused by activating your mind, your body, and your thoughts through meditation, visualizations, and exercises. So I'm going to give you all those bonuses for those who join the Invincible Academy and register for the Precise Language Masterclass. So now sometimes a client of mine gets a little bit nervous when investing $10,000 because that's a big investment. Now, even though the cost of this program is $9,000 cheaper, you might be hearing these same voices in your head, and hearing that nagging voice that's trying to convince you that you're never gonna have that something, telling you that this won't work, and this is just like the last thing that you tried, and it's nothing but a waste of time. Well, I'll tell you what, this is normal for your heart to race and to have a little doubt. Because when you're making a real decision to change, it's a big moment, and you're gonna feel a little bit of fear. And the reason you feel fear is because your monsters always scream their loudest right before your next breakthrough. So the louder they're screaming right now, more of a sign that it is take action. And when a future member is fighting the resistance to bet on themselves and invest in their happiness, I put their skepticism at ease by giving them my unconditional guarantee. Now, I promise to give you every single tool that I have and the support that you need to overcome whatever's holding you back and create a profound breakthrough in your life. And there's only one thing you need to do to uphold your end of the deal, and that's to participate enthusiastically. If you make a commitment to yourself and a commitment to your happiness, and you show up and you try, and at the end of the 6 weeks you haven't made a breakthrough, I will personally coach you until you make that breakthrough and get your something. After the 6 weeks, if you feel like the masterclass and the Invincible Academy didn't serve you enough, I will give you your money back, no questions asked. And I'll still let you keep the video courses as well. Now, I'm really excited for those of you that have signed up. So get ready, because the first live interactive class starts on Tuesday, December 20th. So let me recap everything that you're going to get in this Invincible program, okay? So you're going to get the 6-week group coaching program, which has weekly video lessons that include tools, exercises to master precise language. And those are going to be live. Those are going to be with me. We're going to be having conversations. I'm going to be taking calls. I'm going to be doing live Skype calls. So I'm in this with you. I'm in the trenches with you. We're going to get to communicate directly, and we're gonna serve the hell out of your problems until you get that something that you want. Now, next, you get a lifetime membership to the Invincible Academy, which is the community of all these other conscious creators that are mastering precise language. So this means that after, for this $997, this doesn't mean that after 6 weeks, it's over. No, after 6 weeks, we're done with the courses. But to be a member, you get a lifetime membership. Once you're in, and we're always there to support you. And this type of support is just like the private clients who pay me $10,000 and work with me personally. And just like those clients, I'll be there for you to support you and answer any and all the questions you have until you succeed. So remember, I'm going to be giving you the Invincible Immersion Jumpstart videos when you sign up today so that you can get started for just one payment of $997. Now, if you're ready for the breakthrough in your life, click the link below and I want you to enroll today. Now, immediately after being signed up, you're going to get a username and password, and you're going to get those Jumpstart videos. And our first session is Tuesday at 8. Now, if you guys can't make it to the live sessions, totally fine. Those are going to be recorded. They're going to be put in the membership portal. So you don't even have to attend to get this value. So be sure that you guys enroll now because we only got a couple minutes left. Now, however, I want to reward all of you guys that want to take action right now because we only got 3 minutes left in the webinar. Because this is my first time teaching precise language in a live interactive environment, I wanted to offer a special deal rewarding the founding members of the masterclass by cutting the enrollment fee in half. So for tonight only, I'm offering for the first 10 people who enroll today to enroll for this class for $497. So be sure to click the link in the chat and sign up today. Because this is 95% cheaper than I'd be charging my private clients and $4,000 less than the cost of the Invincible immersion. So enroll today so we can get started on helping you get your something. Now, let's make 2017 the year that you finally break free from your self-imposed prison and get your something. Now, before we get to the question and answer, I want to give you one last thing. Because I want to personally make sure you know how to apply these tools and techniques specifically in your life, I've made time in my schedule to have a 20-minute one-on-one Skype session with me personally. So we can immediately get your compass pointed in the right direction, ignite your progress, and prepare to pour gasoline on your success. So for those of you who are on the fence after our Skype session, you don't see how precise language can directly affect your motivation, your clarity, and your success, I'll promptly refund your money, no questions asked. So if you're ready to commit right now to get your something, enroll right now, and take the advantage of the one-time price of 50% off of $497. So now I'm going to open up this for question and answer, but I don't know, do we still have time? Does it kick me off? Yeah, okay, good. Because yeah, it was sort of that. All right, so I want you guys to all right, let me get my face on here today. Okay, this is probably not. All right, hope to connect, Charles. All right, so what are some questions that you guys have? Love to have a clear goal in life that I can work on very hard. I want to find out what my passion is. Yeah, in finding your passion, I mean, it starts rather simple. What is the thing that when you're doing, time seems to slip away? What is the thing that you would be doing whether you're getting paid or not? There's a lot of different visual techniques that we use in helping someone identify what their passion is. Because everybody loves something. Everyone's compelled with something. Can't see the link on the smartphone. So in the Yeah. So after the webinar, we will send a link to for everyone that attended. We'll send a link to everybody that so you can get that. Is everyone else able to see the link that wants to enroll? Okay. I'd love to have a clear work goal. I would love to have a clear goal in life that I can work very hard. I want to find out what my passion is. Okay. I want more. I want more wants thing. Quick drugs. No. Oh, fantastic. All right, Garrett. Yeah. So the price. Yeah, the price is $497, Robert. Using positive. I'm totally behind your method. Using positive language. In fact, it's precise language. People when people talk about precise language, they ask me, they're like, oh, that's a bad word. No, negativity is welcome. When in a precise language session, if someone says, I hate this, that's clear. You would fractal, what is it that you hate about it, and continue to go. But negativity is welcome. That's what's a little bit different about these methods. So this so question was asked: does this class happen once a year, or can we join at another time of the year? So for these 6 weeks, we're doing this live. If there's still space in this, you can catch up with us at any time and still get all of those 6 weeks. But I will be doing these live classes every week. So yeah, if signing up at some other time is what you need to do, then we'll make that available for you. From Jason, you freaking rocked it. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I hope you got out of it what you were looking for. Did you? Because I know I talked big on what this was about. That's what's that? Someone was asking about payment. Oh, someone about payment plans. Uh, what's that? No, right now there's not. Right now, it's the price is fixed at $500. The when I'm choosing to price things with my clients, I always want to put it in a place that is a little bit of a stretch for you, because that little bit of a stretch is that leap of faith that you take. That's the faith that you have in yourself. That's the adrenaline that pumps when you bet on yourself. So at this point, there are not any payment plans. You're okay. Thank you so much for this webinar, Spencer. I really appreciate it. Good night. Yeah, have a good night, man. I'm really glad that you liked it. I really want to see you guys apply this in life and you know uh, join the Invincible Academy Facebook page and post some of your successes on there. That's what I live for. Uh, so Minas. So yeah, so the live classes, if you're in a different time zone, uh, there's also other Facebook lives that I'm going to be doing on that Facebook page that aren't just on Tuesdays. So I will be doing other live demonstrations and calls like that at different times to appease people who have different work schedules or are in different time zones. Thank you for Ben. Oh yeah. Well, uh, David Snyder is a self help and NLP assassin. I mean, there's very few that are better than David Snyder. So you're definitely in good hands, Ben. Any other questions, guys? I want to make sure that you feel clear in this practice. I mean, the concept of this is very simple, but the application of it is way more challenging than you would expect. So for all of you that have signed up so far, I will get in contact with you about doing our one-on-one 20-minute session so I can get to know you a little bit better and make sure that you're successful. I mean, that's my obsession, and that's what qualifies whether I'm successful or not. Is if the people that I work with and that work together with me are living their dream and waking up every day excited to do what they want to do and feel empowered to face their challenges and move forward head on. You know. Thank you. Says my smile says a lot. This is what I love to do, and honestly, this stuff I'm a student of this. I was fortunate enough to build a life for myself to where I can make this my focus. But this is what I live for. Like having everybody here at my place, having everybody at listening from all across the world. I mean, as long as people are helping people, you know, kick ass and live their dreams, like what better way to live, than that. All right, guys. So, unless anyone has any other questions, like I have really enjoyed my time here with you guys. This was the first time that I was bringing this to the masses. So yeah, yeah. So this is the first time that I brought this to the masses. In fact, I've been doing these kind of like deep dive, immersions for individual people, um, for years. And it's actually, like I said, my friends here that have been noticing the effects, absolute profound effects of precise language. And a lot of these peoples are coaches and mentors and teachers themselves. So, and they've been saying, Spencer, you've got to take this to the mainstream. It's too powerful and it's too powerful and too effective for it not to be out there. But like I said, at the beginning, I gave you guys that warning because precise language, precise language is revealing. If you want to know your passion, know who you are, know why you do the things that you do, and consciously rewire your mind for performance, rewire your mind to be able to achieve anything, then okay. So someone asked, why will this work for me when everything I've tried in the past hasn't worked for me? The answer to that question is in the question. There's voidness in that question. So what has worked for you? When you focus on what hasn't worked for you, that's all your brain can think of, and then you're stuck there. Okay, it's the pink elephant story. If I tell you I don't want you to think of a pink elephant, automatically that's what's in your head. So even in that question, what hasn't worked for you, if that's on your mind, you're already in a loop. So what is working for you? Because in some area in your life you are successful, some area of your life you're doing it well. So what are those habits? What is that mindset? How come why don't you have any interference there? And that's what we would dive into. And through using precise language, we can identify why we're successful and why we're stuck. and then take those natural successful habits and layer them on top of the areas that you're stuck, and suddenly you're successful in that area. So typically in a lot of self-help stuff, especially therapy, it takes years to resolve an issue, and it's because so much inefficient language is used. So to answer your question, whatever you've done that hasn't worked only means that it hasn't worked yet, because any good solid self-help strategy will work. The matter is time. So how much time do you have to get there? That's what precise language does. Precise language helps you. Precise language helps you uh, accelerate your progress, so you can eliminate the amount of time that it takes you to get from point A to point B. Because look, at the end of the day, we'll all figure it out, right? Some people are like, "Well, I don't need the help." Okay, so you want to get from where you're at to your something. It might take you 5 years, but if you had the right assistance, if you had the right structure, if you had the right way to learn and to move forward, you could accelerate that 5 years to 5 months to 5 weeks. Depends on what the goal is. So everyone, every piece of wisdom was derived from a mistake. But that mistake doesn't have to be your mistake. It can be someone else's. And this is how we learn. This is how we grow. And when interacting with mistakes, it's very volatile, because interact with a mistake in a void and vague way, it's going to stir up more negative emotion. Deal with a mistake in a clear and precise way, it's going to turn into jet fuel and move you forward. But that's the game you play. And when you speak precisely, you always win. You always win. I tend to get stuck in my own head, and it seems like this would enable that particular sugar. Ooh, fantastic. Okay, so yeah, you tend to feel like you get in your own head, and you might not be able to sleep at night because of the thoughts in your head. That's a symptom. And the particular sugar is what I would ask you, what do you do because you get stuck in your head? Like what's the byproduct? For me, when I get stuck in my head, in particular, I gravitate towards YouTube, or towards short documentaries, or old episodes of Seinfeld, anything to zone my brain out. That's my personal sugar. So once I was constantly in my head, always in my head. In fact, most of us here, that was our issue. That's a gift, being stuck in your head. But when you use precise language, you're able to organize those thoughts and be able to utilize them, because thoughts that are organized and compartmentalized are able to be used when appropriate. Does that help? I was asked by Robert, hey Spence, does your method involve, in a way, emotional release? Absolutely, absolutely. So there are many other tools that we use in the Precise Language Masterclass. Everything from, there's a lot of tools that I use. And as the conversation of the masterclass goes on, we inevitably come across tools that aren't taught in the lessons, such as emotional freedom techniques, and meditations, and Reiki, and energy work, and stuff like that. Every person emotionally releases differently. So for your emotional release, it actually might be something physical, and under that circumstance, I'd tell you to work out or take some martial arts or something. For other people, it's linguistic. They need to talk about their problems, so we would use a specific tool for that. For other people, they just need to feel like they're getting their feelings out, and so that conversation is a little bit different, but follows the same protocols as precise language. The All right, so how do we get the 4 videos? As soon as you register for the masterclass, you'll be prompted to create a username and password in our membership portal, and you'll receive an email that you can go in there and log in, and you can gain instant access to those 4 videos. And then setting up the 20-minute Skype chat. What we're going to do is send you an email, and I'm going to connect with you directly, and then we'll set up a time for us to meet. Along with the Okay, so I got another question here about how long that the 50% discount will be available. So this 50% discount is available only till the end of this webinar. So for those of you who are still on, if you decide to sign up after tonight, then the price goes back up to $1,000. And so yeah, if you want to think about it and get back to me, if you want to do it tonight and sign up, we can always do our first session, and then you can, after our first session of that 20-minute talk, you can kind of decide if this is for you. But I promise you guys that after that 20-minute talk, you're going to see precisely how this will affect your life. There's nothing like it when you're in a precise language session, and for the first time, you can't speak. Can't is a void. So all you can think of is void words. And that's when stuff gets really, really interesting. So I got another one here, is that my problem has to do with logic loops that enabled me to stay in my head. Can you give me a more specific example of logical loops? Because the way that I'm interpreting that is, something strategic, and this certainly works in creating strategies. All right, so in addition to so when we're in the precise language masterclass, there are all types of different demonstrations and challenges that we do. They say that it takes 3 weeks or 21 days to change a habit, and that's not true. It can be done in 7 or 14 days, and that's something that immediately I'm going to show you guys how to do. How to make a massive shift in your life instantly, make that change for 14 days and have it be permanent. And this goes for anything. I mean, this is how I learned how to play the guitar. It's how I learned how to shoot, video stuff. It's how I learned how to get into, the bodybuilding game and the fitness game. It's how, how you can instantly turn around bad habits and turn them into strengths in under 2 weeks. So that's one of the very first things that we're going to do, and other practices as well to keep you balanced. Creating your own morning routine and also a nighttime routine is huge too. There are very little things that you can do that are significant. For instance, that 10-minute meditation every day. Those little things that if you're held accountable by interacting with that practice, with that habit, with others that do that, so you can see the value not just for yourself but for others, which ultimately you see more value for yourself, right? Yeah, that's so that's part of what we do in the class. All right, Robert. Well, yeah, thanks for attending, man. All right, so okay, so here we go to the logic question. Logical loops. You think of a positive goal and then come up with logic that tells me why it can't work or all the possible ways that it can go wrong. Okay, so that thing in your head that's telling you, that's playing that devil's advocate, is a gift. Where if you're trying to think about what you want and what you need to do, and you're thinking about where it can fail, so the question you want to ask yourself is, okay, what would need to be the reality of which that failure wouldn't happen? Okay, so it's like I want to open up a business. Well, you need $50,000 to do it, or else it's going to fail. Okay, well, how much money would you need in order for it to not fail? 100,000, 150,000, 10 million? Like, what is it? At some point, you'll get to a point and say, okay, well, this is possible. So then the question becomes, how do I get $10 million? Someone else in the history of the world has gotten $10 million with way less capabilities than you. So how did they do it? What other area in your life at one point did you say couldn't be real and then it became real? Because once you can identify that, then the limitations go away, because you want to talk about logic, then it's simple math. You once thought something was impossible, you now realize it is possible. So that math to this problem, you think it is impossible, it turns out it is possible. So what did you do in that other time? So you see how we're kind of turning the devil's advocate thing on itself? Does this make sense? Did it freeze? Okay. No. All right, guys. Well, this seems to be the end of the questions. This was great questions and feedbacks. Um, I really enjoyed spending the this Thursday night with you guys. This was fantastic, and I hope you got a lot out of it. And if you want to, you know, progress and move forward and accelerate your progress, because if you're here, you've already made progress. But if you want to take that progress and pour gasoline on it and explode and break through to that next level in 2017, then join today. And like I said, until we're done with this webinar, it still remains 50% off. So that is $1,000 course for $497. So be sure to take me up on that offer, because once you do, your 2017 will never be the same. I'm telling you, it's not going to be me that does it. It's not. That's not where the confidence comes from. The confidence comes from knowing that this stuff works, and knowing that if you believe in yourself and you put to action what I know is possible, it's inevitable that you're going to get that something. So, guys, it's been absolutely great. It's been a blast. Uh, Hopefully, like I said, you guys got a lot out of it. And for those of you who signed up, I cannot wait to get started on Tuesday. Cannot wait to get started on Tuesday. We're gonna tear things up and get ready for the next level, because it's coming. All right, guys. This has been Spencer Burnett with the Invincible Academy. It's been great. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good night. Pause.